Okay, I think we're going to get started. My name is Marissa Jablonski. I'm the Executive Director of the Freshwater Collaborative of Wisconsin, and we are an initiative that pulls together all 13 UW University water programs. And very specifically, we focus on helping undergraduate students in that pipeline to jobs. So getting them into hands-on learning courses, field courses, lab courses, and growing those courses across Wisconsin. And then also internship placement that eventually leads to workforce placement. So we are pleased to be here today with Veolia, and they are going to take this time and present their summer internship and labor opportunities here in the greater Milwaukee area. So I will hand it over to Brett to talk about Veolia overall, and then we'll get into the actual position openings.
Hi, welcome everyone. I appreciate you joining us here today to discuss some of our internship and summer job opportunities we have here in Milwaukee with Veolia. So what do we do in Milwaukee? We work hard to keep Lake Michigan clean. So we are in a 10-year contract with MMSD to operate and maintain two very large wastewater treatment facilities at Jones Island, downtown Milwaukee, and South Shore facility in Oak Creek, Wisconsin, as well as the collection system that feeds the two wastewater treatment plants. So we have 220, around 220 full-time employees between the two plants. And today we're going to discuss some of our intern opportunities that we have, summer intern, between all the different departments here in Milwaukee. So some of the internships we offer are wastewater plant operations, and that's my department. I probably should have introduced myself a little better, but I'm Brett Kelly, the Director of Operations here between the two plants. So we have two wastewater plant operations interns. We have internships in asset management, capital projects, wastewater collection and conveyance, procurement, and then again summer job opportunities. And we'll discuss those further individually. So the first one up is the wastewater operations summer internship. So we have two positions that we hire for in the summertime, looking for students, junior, senior level that are interested or at least open to a career in the wastewater industry. So one intern will be, or employee will be stationed at the Milwaukee Jones Island and the other at Oak Creek. And typically they spend the whole summer at that plant they're assigned, or they, will switch them so they get some experience at both. So why would you choose to be a wastewater operations intern? So we really try to get students that are interested in the field, some exposure to the industry operations, the daily process discussions, and data analysis and collection. But some of the job is a lot of sample collection, running lab data, recording the data, and then doing some analysis. At the end of the internship, you'll give a presentation on all the data you collected and what does the data mean? What does it mean for the operation? But in the meantime, we really focus on getting you as much exposure as you want to how a wastewater plant operates, and focus the experience on what you want to get out of it. So it's just as important for us to get some data and analysis as it is for you to get the experience you're looking for, to say, yep, wastewater operations is what I want to do for the rest of my life or my career, or no, it's not for me, which is okay too. We've had some interns that say, yeah, it was a great experience, but I think I'm going to go a different direction, which is exactly what we're hoping you get out of this experience. So I've always had great feedback from interns that, and some of them are now our full-time employees that, yeah, it really opened my eyes to what these jobs are and great careers. and overall great experience. So if it's something that you're interested in, the best way to do it is to apply for the position online, but also reach out to me with your resume, just a quick email. Contact information is there, brett.kelly@veolia.com. Just say, hey, I applied online, I'm interested, here's a little bit about myself. I'll reach out to you and set up just a quick online interview. So appreciate your time, and we'll move on to the next opportunity here.
Thanks so much, Brett. We're moving on. And I just want to say, Heidi did email or text, put in the chat, oh my goodness, this statement. If you have questions about the positions as they're being described, please enter them in the Q&A so we can answer them as we go along. So if any participants have questions for Brett, please type them in the Q&A section of Zoom. And then we'll also have time at the end for questions as well. So if you can't think of something now, but you think of something later, please don't hesitate. Just put something, write it in the Q&A. Thanks so much. All right, Brett, thanks a ton. We're going to move on to asset management.
Afternoon, everybody. I'm Sam Meyer. I'm the Director of Asset Management here for the two facilities. This position would be someone interested in management or maintenance management, process equipment, reliability. Big part of it would be evaluating what we're doing, looking at data, looking at purchase history, looking at maintenance history, and trying to organize that into some analysis to help us make better planning choices. And most likely they would provide a final report or a presentation, thank you, of what they understood and what they found out through our systems. They get a chance to work within the planning department. Primarily, they would be at Jones Island, but they would have the opportunity to go down to the Oak Creek facility also for some experience. If anybody's interested, like Brett said, please apply online. Feel free to shoot me an email with any questions and a short introduction with your resume, and do the same thing, online interview. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Sam. All right, we're moving on to capital projects.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Josh Patriga. I'm the Capital Projects Coordinator. I apologize, I'm having a few issues with my camera here, but we're looking for one intern to help us with what we call MCRR projects, which are material, capital, or repair replacement projects. This could be anything from working on pump repairs, replacements, VFDs, gates, conveyors, piping, anything in the plant that may break or require repair or replacement. If it exceeds a certain threshold, we get involved and we manage those projects from kind of start to finish. So that person would be helping us with project documentation, helping us with photographs and other written correspondence related to these MCR projects. Typically, you'd probably spend about 50% of your day in the office and then probably another 50% out in the field, meeting with contractors, meeting with our client, and kind of working through those projects with contractors as well. My contact information is listed there. If this would be something you're interested in, certainly reach out, and look forward to seeing there's some interest in this internship. Thank you.
Thanks, Josh. Okay, the next is wastewater collection and conveyance.
Good afternoon, everyone. I see we have about 30 participants. Welcome, everyone. As Brad and Josh and Sam discussed before, this is big, particularly if you folks are participating in or taking classes in the clean water, the environmental field. So what we do here is we are also part of the water part, right? We're dealing with wastewater. So for this particular section, what I'm in charge of here is wastewater collections and conveyance system. Think of it like we got 2 treatment plants, right? Huge one. They are about 300 million gallons per day each, so 600 total. So we need something to bring wastewater to the plant. So this is it, wastewater collection, conveyance, right? So for us, I'm sure you folks heard about the tunnel system, right? The deep tunnel system. Everyone talk about it. Pretty proud of that because this is one of the city that offer that kind of services, that we do deep tunnel system, store all the excess wastewater and then treat it later. Nothing goes to waste. For this particular position, we're looking for a junior, senior, all right, that are interested in wastewater collection, the pipe system, the conveyance system, the pump system, right? So to help us with research and help us with evaluating what are the repairs, the maintenance and troubleshooting issues, and then find out what are the critical equipment that can be replaced or repaired. Understand, basically it's all said in the bullets there, and understand the reference material, know how to read. Hopefully by the end of your internship, you should be able to understand where you can find information, how to run a system, how to operate an equipment through O&M manuals, how to read blueprints, and that kind of stuff. It's again, it's very similar to capital project. You spend about 50% of your job in the office setting and 50% out in the field. And our goal is to make sure that you folks understand how water is conveyed, right? How the wastewater is conveyed and bring back, how do we store them in the tunnel system during big storm events so there's no overflow to the river or lake. And one last point I'll share with you, we are the environmentalists here. We protect the environment, and this is all the gentlemen that talk about their field before, their departments before, are passionate about saving the environment. This is it. If I can do a sales pitch to you folks, this is it. If you guys care about the environment and like to make some money over the summer, give us a call. Okay? That's all I got. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thanks, Chu. Next is procurement.
Hi there, everybody. My name is Jim Peters. I am the procurement manager here at Veolia Water. Pleasure to speak with you today about the opportunity that we have here at Jones Island. I want to give you just a little bit of overview of what our department does here and what the intern role will provide this summer. So we are based out of Milwaukee, Jones Island. As others have mentioned, we do have a facility in Oak Creek, known as South Shore. So the procurement team is really made up of 6 individuals. We have 2 buyers, a warehouse manager, and warehouse technicians that help manage the warehouse, not only here in Jones Island, but also South Shore. And really the overall responsibilities of our department, we're really responsible for procurement of goods and services to really support the 2 wastewater facilities and then also the entire conveyance system. We really have to provide all of the internal stakeholders, make sure we have an effective and responsive supply base. So when individuals do need any products or services, we do have the suppliers that can support that. We do manage a pretty extensive warehouse operation, really responsible to make sure inventory levels are accurate, and then we process anything that any of the stakeholders need as efficiently as we can. We do manage local site sourcing responsibilities. We have many suppliers that we do manage. We do have support of Veolia's corporate procurement team that lends a hand with larger contracts if we're having issues with suppliers, et cetera, et cetera. But for anything we're managing from a local contract choice perspective, we're really responsible for managing that total best cost pricing, and we're applicable established contracts with those suppliers. We do manage spend with what we call SWIMBY suppliers, which are really small women and minority business enterprises, where we have requirements that we have to comply with our client, MMSD. So that's kind of our department in a nutshell. As far as the intern role goes that we have in our department here, this role will manage a few different things. One of the main things will be managing RFPs or requests for proposals that we'll have on probably several selected commodities that we do. We manage a lot of different suppliers. Some are managed by corporate, but we do manage some here as well too. So what we'll end up doing is going through and identifying a couple of the categories that make the most sense. And that individual will really manage the what we call S2C process, which is the source to contract process. As part of the opportunity, you really go through and be able to go through a sourcing process, to identify what those opportunities are, develop a category strategy, decide on what process we're going to use. Is it going to be a standard RFP? Is it going to be a standard RFQ? We have some other tools that corporate has provided to us that are really, really neat online opportunities that are very efficient and in very, very large systems that we have the opportunity to use as well. But really, this individual will conduct the bids, will negotiate with suppliers, recommend suppliers, and there's others that talked about really put together a presentation or two, depending on how many projects we work through, and really present those findings to management and move forward as the recommendations come through. Other parts of this will be certainly enhancing our processes and documentation, going through some process mapping. We have several different processes here internally that I do have the desire to improve, from certificates of insurance, how we work with Josh's team on capital projects, even some of our SWIMBY suppliers and how we manage that process with the district as well, and potentially even some warehouse and inventory management projects, depending on the individual's desires, and we try to curtail those to the best interests of the students as well. You also have the opportunity to really work on ERP systems. So we have an asset management system here that Sam's team manages, where we issue our purchase orders, our requisitions, really manage the supplier invoice process. So you get involved in some of those as well too. So a lot of opportunities for anybody who's interested in that, and certainly we'll curtailor the what your desires are to really what we have to offer as well. So the position that I have, it will be based out of Milwaukee at Jones Island. We're looking at starting about May 28th, which is a Wednesday. It'll probably run through the end of August. This will be a first shift opportunity for that individual. But certainly, if you're interested, I highly encourage you to apply. I'd be super excited to have you on board. My contact information is available on the slide there. Feel free to send me your resume and any information you feel will be appropriate. And certainly for interested parties, we'll set up interviews to have a discussion. So thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jim. And before we move on to the labor positions, just going to open up the Q&A. And I do notice that we have one question from Spencer. Are these internship positions reserved for juniors, seniors only, specifically wastewater, plant operations, capital projects, and conveyance?
I can answer that for operations. It's junior, senior preferred. We have had, sophomores. We for operations, we want somebody that's had some coursework in operation or wastewater, so that you can take what you've learned from school, apply it here, and then also get a good hands-on experience so you can go back and finish up your coursework. I know I did an internship when I was a student at UWSP. I did my internship in Green Bay, had a great experience, learned a lot, and I really want to make sure we replicate that experience for students that come through our program. But we want somebody that's a little bit has some coursework, and has some background knowledge on how a wastewater plant operates, so they can sort of hit the ground running. But to answer your question, it's preferred. In operations, not necessarily required, but definitely preferred that you're a little bit further on in your coursework.
Terrific. Thanks. We have one more question in Q&A, but it's going to I can tell it'll be better to answer it at the end. So now we're gonna move on to the laborer positions. Okay,
Great. So I will speak on behalf of Tracy Davis Wright. So, for those that don't really know what position they want to get into, maybe those that are freshmen or sophomores that are interested in the wastewater field or don't know if they actually are in the wastewater field, a good opportunity is to get into the plant to see how things operate is with our summer labor opportunities. Not saying that that's strictly out there, but again, this is a position that somebody who likes to work outdoors, somebody who likes to maybe roll up their sleeves, and again, maybe somebody that just wants to take a break from school and books and running equations and data analytics, and work outside. So with that, these summer labor positions are teamed up with our field plant maintenance crew. Our field plant maintenance crew, so they basically touch anything that's related to maintenance and or capital projects. They're the first ones there. So in order to successfully perform either some mechanical maintenance or electrical maintenance or assess the full scope of a capital project, we often have to make sure that equipment and or facility and or grounds is acceptable to turn over to the contractors, or acceptable to turn over to other areas of the maintenance crew. So the summer laborers really help. They're the first responders with our field plant maintenance crew and perform a variety of tasks from smaller mechanical maintenance to buildings and ground maintenance to we have a summer basin wash program, right? So all of the primary clarifiers, secondary clarifiers, aeration basins. We have a full scale of work to do before any sort of other more intrusive maintenance can happen. So that's what this positions are open for. There's about anywhere between 6 to 10 of them that are available. We've had a lot of repeat laborers or summer laborers that enjoyed the outdoor work, enjoyed the summer, enjoyed the actual field, and have returned year over year. So it is a good opportunity again to get exposure into the field, exposure to the facilities. And just a good opportunity to see how, the wastewater plant actually operates. So that's what we have there. If you're interested in that position, again, the email tag there is Tracy Davis Wright. She's our human resources business partner. So please reach out to Tracy and we'll make sure we get you on the list.
And Paul, one thing I did want to add in there, we do have 2 positions that would fall into this role as well too, that are part of our warehouse. So we have one position that is at Jones Island that would help manage the warehouse and work directly with our warehouse manager. And then there would be another one at our South Shore location that would work with our buyer and warehouse person at South Shore as well too. So we do have a couple of positions that will be working directly in the warehouse. Just want to make people aware of that.
Absolutely.
good.
Thanks, Jim.
Sorry, good point, Paul and Jim. Also in the conveyance system, we have 6 or 7 positions, summer interns, sorry, not interns, summer labor helpers. That's, position available for folks that are, don't want to hit the books too much. You want to be out, stay outside, out in the field. Feel free to apply. If you're not quite junior or senior yet, if you think, yeah, this is a good stepping stone to get into to get to know Veolia, to know the treatment plants, the conveyance system, please apply, because the job is it's not very hard. Grass cutting and stuff like that, groundskeeping, that kind of thing. So just want to add to that.
thank you all. This is great. So we have a question from a student who's currently studying in Algeria. Good evening. Do you accept applications from international students, or is this offer only to citizens? Before we open it up to Veolia, I know we did have a discussion that if students are from out of Milwaukee, they are responsible for transportation to Milwaukee and housing in Milwaukee. So that's not something that Veolia can help with in any way. Do you all have an answer. Do you accept applications from international students?
Maybe, I don't
Okay.
know.
Go ahead, Chu.
Yeah, I think number one, first of all, I think they have to have a valid work permit, right? So Veolia will not be sponsoring any work applications, work permit and stuff like that. And I always under the impression that this is these are the, this position, talking to you, Marissa, is to help the UWM students or UW students.
Mhm.
So is this open to everyone or UW student only?
This is open to students. Well, I suppose if someone got this notification and they're not from UW, from a University of Wisconsin school, they could still apply, right? But in general, the Freshwater Collaborative communicates with the universities of Wisconsin. So if
Okay.
that student is a UW student, or if they are maybe they're currently studying abroad, or there's a million different options. So yeah. So I'm just, okay, so I think we have our answer. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's great. Okay, another question. I'm graduating with a Bachelor's of Science of Environmental Science this coming May. Which internship would best suit this degree with coursework that was heavy with lab and field work? Is there a possibility of being hired on full-time after the internship is complete? That's from Zachary.
I don't know if Brett wants to take that one, but
Sure. Yeah, it all depends on what you're looking to do, kind of for your career. So environmental engineers kind of fit, a lot of the categories, here. We had some environmental engineers that ended up in the operations department. A lot of our interns are operational engineers, but not necessarily. I know, engineers, mechanical engineers and Chu's group, takes engineers as well. So it all depends on what kind of experience you're looking for in an environmental engineer. And to answer your question about hiring on full-time, we do look to hire some of our interns full-time after when they graduate. I don't know if we've had anybody that graduated and then did an internship with us. Usually they have a semester or two to finish up, and then apply for whatever we have open after the coursework is complete. So, but I hope that answers your questions there.
Thanks. All right. Another question. What are the criteria of selection? Are graduate students allowed to apply? And I'm happy to share my screen again if anybody, but Brett, yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, graduate students are definitely welcome to apply. I believe our last few interns in operations were graduate students from UWM. But really want to focus on, in the operations anyway, people that want to get into the field. So if you're a graduate student and wastewater is something you are interested in or curious about, absolutely. Yep.
and then just to answer the portion about criteria for selection. So we do have quite a few applicants in the queue. There's 21 on the call today. So if there are multiple candidates interested in the same internship, then we will go through the standard interview and hire process. So asking standard sets of questions, who would be the best fit, whose skills align best with the projects that we have laid out for the summer, but also who has a legitimate and passion for what we're doing here. Some of those questions are in the interview process in terms of how do you view ecological transformation, if you will, and or sustainability, and how does that apply to your personal life, right? So, while the technical requirements are there, the education requirements are there, we're also looking to see who fits well within the organization.
Great, thank you. And when will these internships be posted to apply online? I'm wondering, so just to clarify, step 1 is apply online. Step 2 is send an email to the supervisor that is listed in the PowerPoint. Is that correct? And then my understanding is then in later this month, there will be interviews and into early March. And then during those interviews, if it's a good fit, people will be offered positions. But please clarify, Veolia, if I'm getting anything wrong or if you have anything to add.
Nope, that's correct. The positions are posted. So applying to get your resume in our system is a requirement. But really, would like for you to shoot us an email. I have a bunch of, the positions have been posted for a little bit, so I have a bunch of candidates. Some of you have recognized your names on here already sent me an email. And I've reviewed your resume and we'll reach out to you after this presentation. And it's, it's a little bit confusing, I think, which position you're applying for. But if you send an email to one of us, like say myself, if you're interested in operations, we'll track down your resume in the system as well. But it's important to get in there for the hiring process. You gotta get your resume in, apply online. So if we interview you and offer you a position, you're all ready to go. So.
We have another student asking about what about international student that is on CPT, but they don't need visa sponsorship? Will Veolia be okay with that? I asked, what is the CPT? Because I don't know, but they haven't responded back. So I think in general, when it comes to international students, as long as they are legally allowed to work in the United States, in Wisconsin, then they're free to apply. If they're not legally allowed to work and receive a paycheck, then they should not apply. That's my understanding.
That's correct in general, right? So a lot of time, if international students are allowed to work inside the university, that kind of thing, but they cannot work outside of the institutions, then the same rule apply here as well.
Super. Thank you. Okay. So that's all the questions we've got right now. So I want to remind everyone, all of the participants on this call, that Heidi Jeter, our marketing manager for the Freshwater Collaborative, will be sending out an email to all participants with the link to the recording, a link to the PowerPoint, and please use the Veolia website and the links that were put in the PowerPoint to apply for the positions. After you've applied and have your resume in the system, then reach out directly to the supervisors that are listed with their emails on the PowerPoint. And Veolia is as eager to hire you as you are to get a summer internship or labor position. So that's very exciting, and there's a lot of opportunities here. I can remember to my first internship as an undergrad, and it was very eye-opening. I learned a lot. It has a lot to do with the workforce, with vocabulary in that workforce, and then applying things that I learned in the classroom, in the field, was so fun to talk about with my family. So, okay, we have one more question. Would professional certifications like PMP and CEM make a difference? I would broadly answer that as you apply, I think it's important to brag about the things on your resume that make you stand out from others. So certifications like those things would make you stand out. So I can't speak for Veolia, but as someone who's hired people, you want to know what people are, what they're into, what they know, and what their motivations are. But Veolia, if you have anything else, any of you?
If I can, real quick one, I think we're always trying to find the right fit, right? That has the enthusiasm, that wants to be like one of us, they don't hold their nose when they come into a treatment plant, right, so to speak. So they have a passion to tackle environmental issues. And of course, we all want to make money as well, right? So to pay the bills, but it is fit into our organization, have a passion, and we're always trying to help we are trying to help the students so that, it's not all what you learn in the classroom. Here, there are a lot more. You got to deal with people, you got to deal with the environment, you got to deal with the rain, the storm, the sun, and all that stuff, right? So it has to be a right fit,
Terrific.
not just educational background, so to speak. Paul?
Exactly. So those certifications definitely make an impact in terms of the technical and educational requirements, which is fantastic. But as Chu said, right, we're also looking for organizational fit. So yes, and what Chu said.
That's great. Okay, as a last summary, I want to tell all of the participants today that Heidi Jeter posted a couple things in the chat. The first is recording of this info session will also be posted to our website that provides job descriptions and contact information. So that's freshwater.wisconsin.edu/info-session-Veolia/. So please visit our website. And then lastly, the link to careers.veolianorthamerica.com/job_search/. So that is the link to find those jobs that were just discussed during this info session. We greatly, greatly appreciate all of the participants for coming, and we especially thank Veolia for your time. I really sincerely hope that you get more applicants than you expect, and that you find a great fit. I think it's important that that we make a good fit for everyone, right? A university student and Veolia, that could turn into a career and a summer, not just a summer experience, but a career experience that that is worthwhile and makes someone's life well-rounded. So thank you so much for your time, and thanks Veolia for working with the Freshwater Collaborative to get the word out.